Hey guys, how's it going? This is Autobot JCB here again for another How to Transform video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2004 Transformers Energon Dinobots. As you can see here, we have Grimlock and we have Swoop. Now, my understanding with these two characters is that originally the idea was that they were supposed to be released for the Transformers Universe toy line. However, I can't remember exactly what all the circumstances were, but they were ultimately pushed into the Transformers Energon line, and that's why we have these designs. I do know that for the Universe line, they were supposed to be a little bit different, and they were supposed to more closely resemble their G1 counterparts for the Dinobots. But what I love about this, and yes, I do know that newer iterations of the Dinobots can actually combine into, I believe he's called Volcanicus, I think is his name. These two can combine, but their combination is just called Super Dinobot. Kind of a cheesy name, but hey, two Dinobots that can power link is kind of neat. Now, personally, I kind of wish that they could have released all the Dinobots for the Energon line instead of just two of them. But like I've said in my previous videos, do what you can with what you've got, I suppose. Now, what I think is interesting about these is compared to the normal Transformers Energon figures, these guys do not actually have the little lock pin connector ports that you see with the normal Energon figures. These guys actually have a different sort of connector pin. I will be showing you that as we progress through the video. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think these designs are a little lacking, but hey, you can't do everything. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you a couple of details with Grimlock, and then I'll show you a couple of details with Swoop, and then we'll get on to transformation, and then we will get on to combination. So for right now, we are going to move Swoop off to the side, and we're going to bring Grimlock in for a close-up. As you guys can see here, they kept the T-Rex motif with Grimlock. To be perfectly honest, I only know of one version of Grimlock that wasn't actually a T-Rex, and that is the 2001 Transformers RID Grimlock when he was part of the build team. Posability-wise, kind of lacking. His jaw really can't open very far. Opens maybe about an inch. Not really enough to bite a Decepticon's head off, but yeah. His arms do move up and down, but that's really all they do. They're not on a ball joint like some figures that I've seen. They're just strictly up and down. Leg-wise, his legs can move forward and back. He does actually have a little bit of a knee joint, but mine really doesn't like to work. Oh, that's because I have it turned the wrong way. I suppose if you wanted, you could bring it out to the side and make it like that. Yeah, I don't know. The one thing I also wanted to mention is that his head does have a little bit of a swivel. Not too much because of the armor plating that's on each side of his neck. Look under there, you can see the Mega Dinobot head. Personally, I kind of wish maybe they had covered this with a solid plate just to hide that, but it is what it is. And you'll see that he's got not only has the Autobot symbol right there, he also has it up on his head. And personally, I think it's pretty cool that they did more or less keep the color motif of the G1, Grimlock. I love the gray mixed with the yellow and a little bit of red. I love that they kept his eyes red. I'm honestly a little surprised that they have the red armor plating on his legs, since it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. But hey, overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I got to give this maybe about a 6.5 to a 7. It's a cool toy, I have to admit, and honestly, with as many of my videos as you guys have seen, you guys know that I'm trying to collect the entire Energon set, so every little bit helps. Alright, so there's Grimlock, and now we're going to bring in Swoop. As you guys can see here, they did keep Swoop's traditional Pteranodon mode. Posability-wise, he does actually have a little more movement than Grimlock does. His mouth will actually fully close and fully open just like that. Give him a great big Pteranodon yawn. Now, he does actually have some neck movement, but there is an issue. You'll see that his bot mode head is right here, and the way it sits, it creates a friction point with the neck. So if you move the head out of the way, yeah, it looks like he's just got a broken neck. But with that head in there, it gives it just enough pressure that it'll hold itself up. I like that he does have he has some claws that do actually move, and these will become his hands for when he's transformed. I think it's interesting that he has this giant thruster pack on his back that is basically as big as he is. It's like, what would you possibly need with this if you're a dinosaur? It is what it is. Going to the wings, you guys will see that he does actually have some hinge joints right here. I have to admit, I like the plastic shaping where they made it look like he's got some of his circuits exposed. Like he's got these ridges right here on his neck that make it look like, honestly, I don't know what they look like. Anyway, he's got some armor plating that does move up and down. We'll be getting into that in just a bit. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Swoop a solid 8. Even though he's a little lopsided, in my opinion, because of his armor pack, or his jet thruster pack, whatever you want to call it, he's still a neat toy. And like I said, these guys can combine, and I will be showing you that later on in the video. All right, so there's the details on both figures, and now we're going to jump into transformation. So once again, we're going to move Swoop off to the side, and we're going to bring Grimlock in once again. Hello. All right, so his transformation is actually pretty easy. What we're going to do first is we're going to bend his claws in just like this, and we're going to move his legs forward just like this, get them up out of the way. Now his tail will actually split apart on this seam right here, and we'll just go ahead and pull that apart. Now this seam right here is for the combiner mode bit. It will pop apart. If it does, it's okay. So, but anyway, so getting back to the legs, what we're going to do is we're going to fold the end of the tail off to the side and pop that off of that. You'll see that that popped off of that joint right there. And we're going to bring it down just like this. And we're going to come over here and pop that off and bring it down just like that. And then we'll reconnect those pins right there. All right, so there we already have Grimlock's legs. So now what we'll do is we'll come down here and we'll bring his arms around just like this. Now he does have a little bit of an elbow joint, which is kind of neat. And as you do bring his arm down, you can push on this little plate and his fist will pop out. Now, if you wanted, you could actually push this claw back back along his arm, kind of give him like some Wolverine-looking claws, I guess, if you wanted. But there's one arm. So the next arm, we'll come over here, we'll bring it down. We're going to bring it out a little bit, and we'll turn it. There, he's got the elbow joint. We'll bring that up a little bit, and then this plate right here, this little piece right here, will slide forward and reveal his fist. And then, like I said, if you want, you can push the claw back or you can leave it up. It's entirely up to you. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're basically just going to... Oh, give me 1 second. I apologize. This is not the most user-friendly toy sometimes. There we go. We're going to go ahead and pop up the entire front section of the T-Rex. And it sits on 2 lock pins right here. They go into those ports right there and there. And this just folds around behind him and creates a very lopsided backpack. But basically, there's Grimlock. Yeah, I'm going to be perfectly honest. If you guys are going to set him up on a shelf, you might want to have him backed up against something. Because, yeah, he's interesting. See, like, I can't even get him to stand right here. So, here, there. We'll use a salt shaker. All right, so there's Grimlock. All set up. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to transform Swoop. Let me move him a little farther back. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so Swoop is actually pretty easy to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to close his beak, and we're going to bring this section down, and click it into those ports. With this, you'll see the ports are right there and the pins are right here. Just push it down, clicks right in. Really easy to do. Next up, we'll go ahead and take these armor plates and bring them up just like that. And then what we'll do is we'll come back here and we'll grab this whole section right here, both of these, and we'll bring these down straight underneath them because those are going to be Swoop's legs. And then we'll push on this piece, and that'll fold out his feet just like that. And what we'll do is we'll fold this up out of the way a little bit, and we'll bring this up because these are going to form his shoulders. Now, normally this this hinge right here will actually sink into this spot right here. I've been having issues with getting that figured out, so I just don't do it. But yes, these do actually extend out of a little housing that's in his arm for when you switch him from vehicle mode to his dinosaur mode to his alt mode. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll come over here, we'll bring this up, and we'll spin it around, and there we go. He's got his claws ready to go. And then we'll come back here and we'll bring the wings back down and fold the wings down just like that. Now, if you wanted, I suppose you could take the wings and flip them over. And this is just an example of 2 different ways you can have his wings if you want. Honestly, I kind of like him with the wings flipped around just like that. So that's what we're going to do. But anyway, so there we have Swoop. What I think is interesting is considering that Grimlock is actually supposed to be like the big boss of the Dinobots, I think it's interesting that he is actually smaller than Swoop. I don't know why they did that, but they did. So it is what it is. You do not want to stand. Sorry. All right. So anyway, so there we have Grimlock and Swoop transformed and ready to go. As you guys can see here, their designs are interesting. I do think that Grimlock's head more resembles his G1 counterpart than any other version I've seen. Body design wise, I think they tried to get it as closely to G1-esque as they could. With Swoop, I don't know for sure because honestly, I've never seen a G1 Swoop, so I can't really comment. But anyway, so now we're going to get into the fun part because now I'm going to show you how to combine these guys into Super Dinobot. So for right now, we're just going to move Grimlock off to the side with his salt shaker, and we're going to bring Swoop back in because Swoop will actually form the lower half of the combined mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring his arms out off to the side just like this, and we're going to bring his wings back a bit. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to flip his wings back over to the way we had them before. So bring them over, bring them up. Because what this will do is there's a piece on the back of Grimlock that will actually go into one of these ports right here. And I'll show you guys that in just a minute. So we want Swoop's wings back behind him just like that so they're out of the way. So his transformation is actually really easy. What we're going to do is we've got his arms out, so now what we're going to do is bring his arms down and flip his shoulders over and then bring his arms down just like that. So we've got his arm out, bring his whole arm down, flip over his shoulder, bring his arm down just like that. Now you can have them sideways, you can have them face in front, you can have them face in back. I don't think it really matters. And then the next thing we'll do is we're going to come right here. You'll see that there are additional pieces right here, and these will actually fold out and cover up Swoop's normal feet because these are the combiner mode feet. There's that right there. All right. Now what we'll do is we're going to come right here. We're just going to fold these down just like this. And now what's interesting is that you'll see where this hinge piece is. This is where Grimlock will actually attach to Swoop. I think it's a little interesting that they have that function, I guess, for lack of a better word. But yeah, it's interesting. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to flip the wings back over. I just wanted to flip them over so they're out of the way. So we'll flip them, and flip it, and flip it, and bring it back down. Because when you flip this piece all the way up, his wings will be right side up, which is how you want them for the combined mode. So for right now, we have his wings upside down because that's how we want them. Here, let me do this instead. There we go. All right. So there's Swoop, ready to go. And now it's time for Grimlock. Now Grimlock is actually pretty simple to do. What we need to do first is we need to take his dino head and put it back on, reconnect it back onto those pins right there. Now, his arms will actually become the arms for his Super Dinobot mode. So we'll go ahead and flip out the claws again, just like this. And we're going to come right here. We're going to flip in the tail and reconnect that onto those ports right there. Flip in the tail, reconnect it, just like that. And it's ultimately held on by little pins. Now, here, I'll skip a step just to keep this going. All right, so we have them like this, and we'll straighten the tail just like that. Because now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to split him completely in half just like this. As you guys can see here, that looks more like a Super Dino chest in my opinion. And then this gray piece right here, we'll just go ahead and flip back, and we'll flip his head up just like that. And there's the Super Dinobot head. As you can see, it kind of looks more like an armored version of Grimlock's head in my opinion. And then we'll get these fold back up just like that. Now, like I said, his the Dinobot arms will become the Super Dinobot arms. So they'll just basically do whatever you need them to do. Okay, so there we go. We have the arms ready to go. Now, like I said, there's actually a connection port right here, and it's actually right behind this Autobot symbol. All you have to do is just flip this forward, and there's the port right there. And this right here is that bar that I told you will actually connect onto Swoop's wings when we connect him. So what we're going to do is we're going to come right here, and we're just going to put this piece right on top of Swoop's head. Just like that. Whoops, I did not quite get that. I apologize. Give me 1 second. There we go. Just like that. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll snap that down onto there just like that. Then we're going to flip him over and get his shoulders folded back out. And we're going to get this up into here. I apologize for the background noise. That is my cat messing around. We're going to come right into here. Yep. And that's an issue I've been having too. All right. So got the wings folded out flat just like that. And then, oh, I am terribly sorry, guys. I forgot to tell you. You see these sliding points? Make sure you have his shoulders slid out because that will allow for the flat clearance behind him. So I'm so sorry about that, guys. I've only done this a couple of times. But anyway, let's try that again. So we'll connect them on there. And we'll bring up the wings just like that. As you guys can see, that linked right into that port right there. And now we have the Super Dinobot. Yeah. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I like Volcanicus better. But yeah, that's the Super Dinobot. I apologize for how sloppy that was. I've only done this a couple of times. Yeah, this is a very interesting combination. Like I said, I really wish they would have maybe put all the Dinobots in, because it would have been kind of cool to see like a Transformers Energon mega combiner. Since in Transformers Energon we got the Combaticons and the Constructicons and the Aerial Bots. Why not put the Dinobots in? So we have 4 sets of combiners, but unfortunately we only got 3, and then we got this. But anyway, guys, so there is the 2004 Transformers Energon Grimlock and Swoop, as well as their Super Dinobot mode. Sorry. If you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to do, feel free to comment below. Even hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and I will do what I can to help you out as we go. And until then, bye.